Welcome to Torah Anytime, Daily Zohar. I would like to remind you, if you have any questions or requests, you can reach us at rabbigaon@gmail.com. The Zohar says, לא יצאו ישראל ממצרים עד שנשברו כל השרים למעלה משלטונם. Bnei Israel, the Jews, were not able to come out of Mitzrayim until all the sarim. Sarim are ministers. Ministers, really, every country, every power, force in the world has a angel that is put in charge of them by God, of course, to take care of them. So until kol hasarim nishtabru mishiltonam, until everything was basically a new world order. Veyatzu Israel mirshutam, and Israel left their domain. What happened was, when Bnei Israel were in Mitzrayim, even though they were Bnei Israel, but they were under the auspices of Avodah Zarah. For example, it says, Kol hadar bechutz haaretz, he who lives outside of Israel, ki'ilu oved Avodah Zarah. Like he's doing Avodah Zarah. How is this possible if a person is doing Torah and mitzvot? How is it possible that he's doing Avodah Zarah? Not necessarily Avodah Zarah, but he's under the control of that. What does it mean? If you are a Jew, a Torah observant Jew, and you live in a country that is a Gentile country, and they celebrate their holidays, whether it's Ramadan or Christmas or whatever that will be, you operate according to that schedule. So therefore the schedule is not necessarily a Jewish schedule, but rather a Gentile schedule, so that you under that. So Israel yatzu mishlitatam, they came out of their control. Ve'ba'u lirshut hakdusha elyon, and then they came into the domain of the highest holiness, and which is the domain of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'niksheru bo, and they were attached themselves to it. Zeu shekatuv, that's what the pasuk says. Ki li bnei Yisrael avadim avadaihem. Bnei Israel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, are my slaves. They are to me. They're my own personal slaves. Ma'u atam she'avdu she'avadaihem. What is the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu called them my slaves? Asher hotzeti otam mi'eretz Mitzrayim. That I took them out of Mitzrayim. She'hotzeti otam mireshut acheret. That I took him from a domain of a different attribute. Ve'eveti otam lirshuti. Now they belong to me. Something that we have to remember. When the pasuk says, "Ushavarti et all hagoim me'al tzavarchem," and I broke the yoke of the goyim from your neck. Ve'esarti et ul Mitzrayim, and I removed the burden of Egypt from you. How is it possible that any other nation from that point on will be able to oppress us? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you are my slave. So how is it possible that any other nation will oppress the Jews? It's very simple. They cannot. So how is it possible the Jews will be oppressed by other nations? Because the Jews invite that on themselves. Any oppression of a Jew by any other nation usually started by somewhat, if the beginning is a friendly invitation, but they don't end up in the oppression of that nation, oppression of the Jews by that nation. Throughout history, you just look at that, that's what happens. Really, nobody has a reshut. No nation has a permission to oppress the Jews. But it's what the Jews do to allow themselves to be oppressed. That's a different thing. But Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're mine. Nobody can take it from him. It says, V'zeu she'amar Rabbi Shimon, that's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says. מה שכתוב, אך ביום הראשון תשביתו שעור מביתכם, כי כל אוכל מחמצת. It says, Rabbi Shimon says that's exactly what it is. On the first day, you should remove all leavened bread from your domains. Nothing. כי כל אוכל מחמצת, Anybody who will eat machmetz, something that's chamutz, that will become sour, that would ferment, that would become big. Elakach bi'arti. Not only that, there's a different explanation that he says. Seor ze u'machmetzet zu, the seor and the machmetzet, leavened bread or the sourdough starter, any of those things. Hem madrega achat. Now we're talking about spiritual attribute. They're one level. Vekulam reshut achat. This is not two different things. It's one thing. And it's one domain. Vehem sarim hamemunim al shar ha'amim. These are those appointed angels who control the rest of the nations. Va'anachnu, and we call them Yetzirah, the evil inclination. That is the reshut acheret. That is a different domain. That is El Nechar. That is a foreign god. That is Elohim acherim, foreign gods. Afkach, seor machmetzet v'chametz. Akol echadu. Chametz, machmetzet, seor, all those things that would prevent ourselves from eating on Pesach, it's all one thing. There's no difference between one and the other. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Kol helu hashanim, amadetim bereshut achat. All these years, you were under the control of a different domain. Ve'avadetem le'am acher. And you were slaves to a different nation. Mikan ulehela. From here and on. Sha'atem benechorim. You are free men. It's the first time in history the people, a nation, demanded freedom and acted upon it. Ach bayom harishon tashbitu seor mibatechem. Ach means lema'et, to exclude. Only on the first day, tashbitu seor mibetechem. Kol machmetzet lo tochelu. Any machmetzet, anything that is sour, that fermented, you cannot eat. Velo yira'eh lecha chametz, and no chametz will be seen to you. Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said, Im ken, therefore, Gam ken, kol yemot hashana, all throughout the year. If you are telling me the chametz and machmetzet and seor really represent other attributes that the Jews were enslaved to, so therefore, why only on Pesach? Throughout the whole entire year, don't eat chametz. Lama rak shivat yamim? Why only 7 days we should do it? Or the whole entire year? Shekatuv shivat yamim seor lo imatze bivetechem. Because it says 7 days, anything of chametz should not be found in your domain. Rak shiv'a yamim velo yoter. Only 7 days. And no more than that. Amar lo, he said to him, Kol zman she'adam mechuyav le'artzorot et atzmo b'nei chorin, tzechin ken. The obligation, as long as there is obligation on a person to show himself as a free man, that obligation of not eating chametz exists. And the obligation to show yourself and to remind yourself. It's more to remind yourself that you're a free man comes in Pesach. So when this obligation occurs, also you cannot eat chametz, because then you show that you're under another, you're not really free. You're under other influence of other attributes. Uvechol zman she'eino mechuyav, and as long as you're not obligated, you don't have to. Mashal, it's a parallel. Lemelech she'asa adam echad lesar. He took one individual and he made him, he gave him a power of position, a position of power. He made him into a minister. Kol elu hayamim she'ala lamadrega azot haya sameach velovesh levushay kavod. All these days that he was elevated to this position, he was happy. He was wearing nice clothes. He was rejoicing. Le'achar kach lo haya tzarich leze. After that, he doesn't need this anymore. Leshana acheret, right? The next year, shamar elu hayamim she'ala lekavod hazeh. Those days in which he was appointed for that position, he saved those days, And he used to celebrate those days as the anniversary that he got appointed to that position. And so he did every year and year, would celebrate the anniversary of the day that he got into that position. In a way, it would be like when people have an anniversary, their own wedding anniversary, assuming that they do not become Chametz themselves, that they kind of swelled up and they're able to, some miraculous way, to keep their figure than when they were just married. Every year they would wear the wedding clothes. The husband and wife would sit together wearing the wedding clothes, re-celebrate that anniversary of them getting married. But, unfortunately, doesn't happen, but that's a different story. That's what the Jews do year in and year out. כתוב, שיבת ימים שאור לא יימצא. During the 7 days, you're not going to have any chametz in your possession. Why? שהם ימי שמחה. These are days of joy, days of redemption. ימים שעלו לכבוד הזה. We celebrate the 7 days of Pesach as days of celebration of our freedom. It is an extended 4th of July kind of a thing. Now you think about it, what happens therefore to a person who, we say it's not that he has to, but chooses deliberately, specifically to work during these days, and always is a complaint, why can't I go to work during Chol HaMoed? What are you saying about yourself and your real joy of becoming free? You're not really happy you're free. Most likely you'll be very happy to still be a slave in Mitzrayim, or a slave to something else. Maybe you are a slave, you just don't want to admit that. So the days that you go on Pesach, on Chol HaMoed, is really a celebration of your freedom. And celebration of freedom has to be celebrated in a certain way. That's why we don't do certain melachot, and on and on. Umishum zeh, bechol shana v'shana, because of that, every year we keep those days that we merit for this honor to be called slave of Hashem. Ve'yetzu mereshut acher, and they came from the domain of Egypt, which Egypt was all about immorality, improper values, idol worshipping, etc. Uvau lereshut hakdusha, they came to the domain of holiness. Ve'al ken katuv, and therefore it says, Shivat Yamim Matzot Tuchelu. So it's not that I only need to abstain from eating chametz. I also need to celebrate the Kedusha. And how do I do it? By eating matzah. So there are two different things here. I need to acknowledge the fact that I'm free, but I also need to celebrate the fact that I became holy, that I became Am Hashem, the nation of God. Have a great day.